Hi guys, and welcome back to Movies That Matter with the Viking, and today I want to talk about Batman Forever. Now recently I went back and I watched all the Batman films from Batman 89 to Batman and Robin 97, those era of Batman films. Now Batman 89, of course, Tim Burton and Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, a very, very well made Batman film. Good, but I think Batman Returns is actually brilliant. I really enjoyed that, rewatching it for the first time in a long time. I think it's the first time I actually sat down and watched it from start to finish, and I really, really enjoyed that film, and I think it's better than Batman 89. I think Tim Burton was getting the hang of the role, getting the hang of the persona of a Batman, getting the hang of Gotham City, the effects, the action, the story was all getting better, and I think it's a pity that a third film with Michael Keaton and Tim Burton didn't happen. But maybe Batman Beyond might become a reality in the future, and we'll get to see them come back to complete their trilogy. But then that led to kind of poor critical reception of the Batman films in terms of it was too dark and this and that. So they changed it. Tim Burton walked away, Michael Keaton walked away, and that led to Joel Schumacher taking on the world of Batman of Gotham City. And he cast Val Kilmer as the Dark Knight, Jim Carrey as the Riddler, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. You got Nicole Kidman in there as well as a kind of a love interest for Bruce Wayne. And I went back and I recently watched that film, and there's actually a thing online. People will tell you that Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are terrible Batman films. They will beat it into you that do not watch those films. They are not what the character entails. They are not got to do with Batman. Now maybe that's an argument valid for Batman and Robin, because that is very campy, cheesy, a bit stupid at times, and everything is over the top. But Batman Forever and Batman and Robin have a fan base. Many children grew up on those films who are now adults and still go watch those films and say, look, I enjoyed them, I grew up on them, and at the time I absolutely loved these films, and I didn't lose interest because the Batman actor was changed. All I wanted to see was Batman. So I went back and I watched Batman Forever recently again, and I actually think it's a good film. It really is. Yes, it's a bit cheesy at places, and the dialogue about drive-through and things like that probably shouldn't be in there, but you have to remember Joel Schumacher was kind of told by the studio, you have to tick boxes, and this is what we want in the film. We want to sell toys. We want to kind of go away from Michael Keaton and Tim Burton's incarnation because people were giving out about that. So we want these things to be done. But I think Joel Schumacher was kind of trying to make his own Batman film, but also cater to the studio's needs and what they wanted. Now, if you ever listen to Joel Schumacher talk about Batman, he's actually very passionate, and he actually understands the characters in the comics very well. He said he went in to make a comic book movie. He used those comics and brought them into the movie world, and I actually think he did a very, very good job, especially with Batman Forever. Jim Carrey is brilliant as the Riddler. Tommy Lee Jones, it's hard to know what kind of characters he's playing. Is he playing the Joker? Is he playing the Riddler? He is a bit off, but I think he plays the craziness very well, and I think him and Jim Carrey kind of play off each other very, very well. But Joel Schumacher passed away in June, and I made a video about why we should appreciate and love his Batman films. You might not want to love them, but I think you should appreciate what he did for the genre, what he did with the characters, and that he definitely was the childhood for many people with those incarnations of the characters. He really, really was. And I know Batman and Robin isn't the best film, but many people do enjoy that film, and I think we should appreciate his work on those films. I really, really do, because at the end of the day, they're just movies about characters that we love. And I think I'm a Batman fan. I will watch Batman any chance I get, and I'm ecstatic that we're going to get two Batmans in 2021 with Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson, and maybe Michael Keaton coming back as well. Who knows? But for many, many years, there's been talk of a Red Book edition of Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever. Now, what's this Red Book edition? Why is it called the Red Book edition? Well, Batman Forever was supposed to go into a very psychological tone with Val Kilmer's Batman, of why he is the way he is. Why is he the Dark Knight? What led him to dressing up like a bat and going into the middle of the night and beating up criminals? And of course it got to do with his parents' death, but other things, that his memories are suppressed. And this Red Book is what his father wrote in, what Thomas Wayne wrote in, and that's kind of was a theme that was missing from Batman Forever. the theatrical experience, and many scenes were cut. Now, over the years, there's been a following for hashtag release the Schumacher cut. Now, guys, you know me, I'm a big advocate for the Snyder Cut movement. I love Zack Snyder films, and ever since 2017, I've been looking for Warner Brothers to hashtag release the Snyder Cut. First to tweet it, just saying, but nevertheless, it took absolutely everybody for that to happen. And I think it's opened up doors for many possibilities. You see people now looking for David Ayer's true vision of Suicide Squad to come to light because the studio changed, reshot his initial vision of the film, and many fans are now catering for that film to be released by HBO Max, just like the Snyder Cuts. We'll have to see how the Snyder Cut does for the possibility for that to happen, which I think it will happen. And now there's a following starting to gather. More people are starting to gather for hashtag release the Schumacher cut. Of course, another edition, another ultimate cut, another director's cut of a film that was butchered in a way by a studio and wanted to make it more lighthearted. And we see what happens when the studio gets into a vision of a director. The 2017 version of Justice League is a prime example. The 2016 Suicide Squad, even though I like it, it was nothing like David Ayer wanted to make. And Batman Forever is very similar to that. Batman Forever, the Red Book edition is what it's called. Joel Schumacher's true vision is very much grittier, darker than the film that we've seen in 1995. And there's been many articles coming out in the last few days about this and about the possibilities of a Batman Forever film being released. And will it happen? And is there enough of a fan base there for it to be valid for them to release it? So what do we know about Batman Forever? The Schumacher cut, if you want to call it, or the Red Book edition, which is a cool name also. Now, there's some scenes you can get on YouTube of deleted scenes that was supposed to be in the film. There's an opening scene where Two-Face is in Arkham Asylum, and the psychiatrist or the doctor goes to visit him and just check up on him. And he goes into the prison and he sees that he has escaped. It's actually a very dark, gritty scene, and it kind of resembles part of Tim Burton's world of Batman. And then written on the wall in blood is "The Bat Must Die" or something like that by Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face. And that was supposed to be the opening scene. How chilling would that have been? How dark would that have been? And that would have been cool to see. But there's actually 40 minutes that we have not seen from this film. Now, the film came in around 2 hours and 1 minute, 2 hours, 2 minutes, something like that. And there's 40 minutes that we haven't seen of cut footage. Now, you may think, oh, that's not going to change anything in terms of how the film is. It absolutely would. 40 minutes is a very long time, and especially context is everything. The way a film is edited, the way it is presented. David Ayer has talked about this also. He says, don't worry about the runtime of my Suicide Squad. Worry about how scenes come after one another, how it is edited. That's very crucial to a film and how it flows, and how the character development goes on. And that's exactly what Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever would be. We know that it was much darker, much more serious. Now, there is campy moments in Batman Forever, but not as much if the film was 2 hours and 40 minutes. There's some cheesy dialogue and stuff like that I don't like in the film, but I can live with it. But if you had a 2 hour 40 minute, I think that would be overshadowed by the more darker scenes. Okay, it focuses on Bruce's psychological issues in terms of him dealing with why is he the Bat, and then his love interest, played by Nicole Kidman, Chase Matthews, sees a psychiatrist and tries to help him and understand him and help Bruce Wayne, and she kind of is fascinated by the Batman persona as well without knowing Bruce is Batman. So she's kind of linked with these two people, and the two of them are going through the same shit. And that's what I love about Batman, and we get to see that in Batman vs Superman. Bruce Wayne dealing with a psychological trauma of seeing his mother and father die, seeing Robin die, seeing all these things happen in his life. And Mark Bernardin, he is on the Kevin Smith YouTube channel, Batman Beyond, or Fat Man Beyond, whatever they call the channel, and he was talking about the Joel Schumacher cut of Batman Forever, and saying that there is a cut there. There's a 170-minute cut, but Warner Brothers don't know if there's an appeal for audiences to want to see it. Now, of course, the Snyder Cut movement was big, the Ayer Cut movement is big, but I think the Schumacher Cut movement needs to get to those heights to show HBO Max, to show Warner Brothers that we really want to see this director's cut of Batman Forever. I would be all for it. It would be absolutely amazing to see more of Jim Carrey's Riddler, see more of Tommy Lee Jones, see more of Val Kilmer, which I think Val Kilmer is a very good Bruce Wayne and a very good Batman. So why not? Just release the film. It would be absolutely brilliant. But Warner Brothers are unsure whether the footage has survived. But even if there is footage that needs to be finished or effects, look, this film was supposed to come out in 1995. We're not expecting an Avatar like Batman vs Superman like epic film with unbelievable effects. No, not at all. All that we're trying to look at is just to see this film, just to see what Joel Schumacher's incarnation was going to be, and that's all. So even if there is some scenes that don't have the proper CGI or the proper background, we are educated enough as a fan base, as fans, to understand what Joel Schumacher was trying to do. And if they could finish it, that would be great. But Mark Bernardin said it won't take that much. It won't take as much as Zack Snyder's Justice League to finish and complete. So why not? If there's a fan base out there that wants this, and we do, and we like Batman Forever, then why not give us just those extra 40 minutes just to have a look at, just to put it into the way that he wanted to present it to us. Now, I know Joel has passed away, unfortunately, but I'm sure his ideas are still there, and he's talked about people of how he wanted to present it. So why not? It's not a big deal. It's not. To see a true vision of a director just like Zack Snyder, just like David Ayer, I think it would be unbelievable. And to see more Batman is always a win for Warner Brothers, always a win for us fans. You know, Batman is universally known, and that character, Val Kilmer's Batman, is Batman to a lot of people, and people grew up in those films. So there's so many scenes. If you go on YouTube, you'll see the opening scene, as I mentioned. You'll see that Val Kilmer is supposed to be dealing with the psychological battle of him and an actual bat, which is kind of in his mind and his dreams, which seemed cool. There's more Riddler. There's more Chase Matthews. She's saved by that rooftop scene with her and Batman. Goons start coming in there and trying to fight, and Batman has to take them on. So why not? Why not just show it? But guys, let me know your thoughts on Joel Schumacher's cut of Batman Forever. Do you want to see it? Will you campaign for it like you've campaigned for the Schneider cut, or like you're campaigning for the Ayer cut right now? Would you want to see it? Why not? I know it's much years after the film came out, but look at the Donner cut of Superman 2. Was it 25 years or more? That film finally got to see the light of day. We got to see that Donner's actual vision of Superman 2 before he left production, and we'll finally get to see Zack Snyder's incarnation of these characters in this story next year. So why not? Nowadays things have changed. Studios were afraid to release director's cuts in the past because it made them look bad or something, but nowadays fans are forgiving. Just release it and we'll watch it and we'll enjoy it. I for one definitely want to see it. But let me know, guys, your thoughts on Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever Red Book Edition. Make sure you tweet about it on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Keep campaigning if you want to see it. Let's get a bit of a chatter going, a voice going, a movement going, as per se, maybe like the Schneider Cut movement, maybe. But let's see. Anyway, guys, let me know. Just remember, Joel Schumacher has another 40 minutes he wanted to show us. Support it.